Good morning, everyone. This is Jerby, your certified aromatherapist, graduate of New York Institute of Aromatic Studies. Today, we will be hearing from someone who started with essential oils because of an EO accident or an EO injury. And she is no other than Lou Caballero.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
My pleasure.
So, Lou, please introduce yourself for our listeners who haven't really met you formally.
Hello, everyone. My name is Lourdes Caballero, and I'm a certified aromatherapist, just very new in the aromatherapy world. And in my day job is a development communication specialist.
Wow. So the reason why I wanted Lou to join me is I thought her entry to essential oils is very interesting. Could you share with us your experience with essential oils and why you decided to study it formally?
Okay. Yes, that's true. It was a very, in a way, life-changing experience because I was interested in essential oils because I really wanted to initially just make my room smell nice. I live in a small unit and I did not have a garden or a balcony, so I wanted to bring the outdoors in, have a sense of sanctuary inside my place. So at that time I didn't want to spend on anything expensive because I was just a hobbyist. I was just experimenting, doing DIY. And then one time I thought that, I had a little collection of, inexpensive oils. And then I was cooking dinner, fish. I was frying tilapia. And then I flipped the fish the wrong way and I had burns from the hot cooking oil in my arm here, in my upper right arm. And then I was thinking, well, I didn't have a burn ointment and I didn't want to put toothpaste. And my sister is already a surgeon. I was asking her, what should I do? But of course, the hobbyist in me prevailed. And I said I think I have an essential oil for this. And then I did a quick Google search. Oh, I can put lavender. And it checks out lavender can be used for burns. But when I look back at my records, I also had, I think, peppermint. And I also put 1 drop of peppermint.
Oh.
Because I thought it would probably have a cooling effect, So, so nothing happened. And, I was wearing, I think, a shirt that was a long sleeved. And I met my friend, and after 1 hour, I was in a small restaurant, and I was thinking, I was getting itchy, and I thought that there must be mosquitoes inside the restaurant. So I did not think much about it, and then by midnight, before I was about to sleep, and then I felt itching all over my body, and it was so bad, it spread through my legs, and there was a continent of red itchy things, and I ended up going to medical city emergency room.
Oh my God. That must be so horrifying. It must be super nakakapanic yon.
Yes, yeah, it was really because it was already very late at night. So I thought I just looked for a Mercury drug to buy antihistamines. But the itching was very intense. I really couldn't focus. I wasn't sure if I should get a grab or what if the grab took longer and what if it got worse.
Correct.
And I'm thinking maybe I should just drive myself and try to find the nearest Mercury drug. And by chance, the thing that the branch that was open was the one beside medical city. So I even got lost trying to find it, and I didn't have cell phone charger because it was that.
Correct.
I was more focused on scratching myself and giving myself some relief compared to thinking about making logical decisions at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So when they asked, what happened, and they gave me like an injection, a strong injection. I think maybe within, like, it was a strong injection because I fell asleep within like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then I woke up after 6 hours. So, and as I mentioned before, like, so I didn't put anything anymore. And then the next day, even without putting any lotion or oil or anything, after 24 hours when I was about to sleep, the same thing happened again. So I had to go to the emergency room.
Oh my gosh. Why?
So,
what happened this time?
It was the same. Like, even if I didn't put anything, it felt like a delayed reaction, I guess. Or maybe there were, I guess, the body had not fully flushed out the whatever was making it, itch. So they asked me if I was the same girl yesterday, and I took up the story short because it felt like my body was, burning from itching. So they gave me the same thing, and then they asked me to like refrain from eating certain foods because they were checking if any of the other things that I ate probably, aside probably from the oil, might have caused the reaction that time. So it was unpleasant experience, and I thought that after that, it would be good for me to make blends that I know would be safe for me and would not send other people to the emergency room.
Correct.
So because as a creator, you're always thinking that this person would love it, and then they won't tell you that it actually brought them so much misery, and I don't want that to happen.
That's right, I agree. And going back now, I just want to recap. Which two oils did you use for your burn? That's lavender and peppermint, right?
Like that. When I look at my records, I put lavender and peppermint.
Yeah, and you know what? Both two oils are common oils used by many actually. It's one of the most basic oils in a lot of people's collection, right?
Yes, that's true. I guess because I didn't have any background on treating burns or any skin irritation. I thought it was probably okay, and I maybe look at 3 websites, and I felt like, 3 people in the Google world said it's probably fine, so I'm sure I'll be okay. It's just a little, like all those little things that you tell yourself that it should be fine, nothing bad should happen to me.
But there you go. Yeah, so this gives us a really concrete example that sometimes, even if it's the most basic essential oil, even if it's an oil that's commonly used by everyone, it can trigger certain reactions, certain sensitivities to some people, like you, Lou. I would assume, this is just from my own personal assumption, that your reaction came from peppermint because peppermint would have lower dermal limits. But then again, you may also be sensitive to lavender. Have you ever tried doing lavender again? Or no, not really. You didn't want to experiment anymore.
I guess like after that, I did not put lavender on its own. So I think because I wasn't really a fan of lavender.
Correct.
For a long time. So I just thought that this time I would use it medicinally, and then when you're at that point where you have like a medical emergency and you don't have that scientific or medical background.
Correct. You tend to overdo it.
Yeah, because the oil container that I had didn't even have an orifice reducer. So it was just like like the bottle with a cap, and I didn't really I couldn't really say that it was 1 drop because it's like this bottle.
Oh yeah.
And then I put my finger, and then I turned the bottle upside down.
You
and
dabbed
whenever
it.
I was tapping my finger,
Yeah.
I considered that 1 drop. So of course it probably might have been like 1 or 2 drops depending on a lot of factors. So I might have overdone it, and I was in an experimental phase at that moment, and it wasn't really a good idea.
That's right. And with that big of a lesson, it has pushed you to take the studies formally? So could you walk us through why did you decide to enroll with Aromahead? What made you decide on enrolling with the school? And how was your experience since enrolling?
Yeah, I didn't know about Aromahead Institute or any aromatherapy schools before. I was just on YouTube doing searches on who offers like advice, and I think what I did was, even before I asked the owner of the school a question by email of what she thinks about certain concerns I had about essential oils, and she sent me a reply, and she didn't say anything bad about specific companies, or she didn't put down any group or whatsoever. She said that it's better that I educate myself, and she gave me the principle, general principle, without bad mouthing anybody in the aromatherapy world. So it would be up to me to make my decision on what products and services and are available to me, depending on my level of interest. So I thought that was a very professional way to approach a thorny question that I think faces oil lovers or aromatherapists. Like, do I go here or do I go there? Do I follow this or do I follow them? So I thought that it would be a good thing to hear people who are doing their best to give a an education that makes you think clearly and thoughtfully about your intentions or decisions while studying the science behind it. So I formally enrolled February of 2019, and at first, before diving into the aromatherapy classes, I thought it would just be about, sniffing things that were fragrant and putting them together, and voila, you have your something for your room. And it was part of that.
Correct.
It was fun. But I didn't know that I will get a crash course in chemistry and
Anatomy
and physiology, and it was it was a great experience, because when I was taking chemistry, in high school I never associated it with anything fragrant.
Correct.
To me, it was an abstract concept, thinking about molecules. So in a way, now it had an application. I was exploring science in a different way. It was arousing my curiosity in a different way, and I enjoyed the course about stress in anatomy, because I thought that I should not be stressed because these parts of my body are working, and this is how the oil can help. But the oil is not the savior of everything, so there are other factors that I need to think about. So that was a rewarding experience, because you love science in a different way, and when you like something, you make an effort to get to know it more, even with a person or any hobby or thing you like. You make time and you study something that you really are learning to love. So I thought that was even if I did not make a career of it, I think that I would like to look back in my life and say that I did my best to study something that I loved, and that is a testament to, it might not be a forever thing, or it might be a side thing or a main thing, but it's the time that you put to understand who you are, what you like, what you don't like. I think it was a good experience.
Yeah. And I think the reason why people normally go with Aromahead, some people really like their way of tackling per oil, right? They give they give a character to each oil, and it makes the students appreciate each oil better.
Yeah, I guess I would love the chance. Actually, now part of me is interested to take advanced studies. And I'm weighing if should I go with the same school or I'll go with another school, not just because of, I'm comparing the price, I'm comparing the topics that they are, going to cover. And I guess because at that time I went with Aromahead because, this is very, I guess, superficial, but their voices were very soothing. So, because when you're doing online classes and the topics can feel like scary, like science, so you need the person's like, it's gonna be fine, we're gonna help make you understand it. So I guess although I wasn't able to compare other teachers, I just felt like the voices of the instructors were calming
and more friendly.
So yeah, I guess it's friendly and approachable, and I think that's a great way to invite people to the world of aromatherapy and to the science behind it, not to present it as something that it's only for certain people or it's only for for the rich, or it's only because there are many oils that are we can understand scientific things about them and not be terrified that they're only for a specific group of people. So that's the part.
Correct. I agree. I actually took Aromaheads and my schools. I'm actually very loyal to my school. I've taken about 5 courses from my school to date. So I got my certification from New York Institute, and I've taken my level 1, my French aromatherapy, beauty formulations. I've also taken animal aromatherapy, herbalism. I've taken a lot. And before diving into that school, like before investing in that school, I actually shopped around for schools. I went with all the schools available. At that time, when I was choosing for my school, I was checking out schools from Australia, Korea, US, Canada. Eventually, I went with US because, well, I don't know. I really don't know. I wanted to go to Korea, but I thought the language barrier would make it more difficult for me. So I scrapped that. And then I ended up at New York Institute. And at that time, I also attended Aromahead's free introduction. And comparing the two, I'm not sure if you've attended the free introduction from my school. Not really.
I would be interested too because I'm shopping around.
You should. I think it's free and it's available like round the clock. So anyway, as I was saying, while I was searching for the school that fits me, I checked with Aromahead. Pros and cons. Aromahead for me, I think the price is almost similar in my memory. I took it 2 years ago, so the prices must have changed by now. But at that time, I think they were head-to-head. So the price wasn't really that of a big deal between the two schools. But the way Aromahead is more friendly. The voice is more friendly and less intimidating. But I just don't like the stories before each oil. I feel it's wasting a lot of my time. So I didn't go with that. New York Institute just tackles every oil head on. Other people don't really like the way they narrate the lessons because nakakaantok daw talaga. Sabi ng lahat. But to me kasi, I think I tackled it more via reading. So parang the videos, the voices weren't really that big of a deal for me. So yun. It's almost the same. It's just that I felt a lot of the topics that I wanted was with my school, with New York Institute. That's why I decided to go with that school. Kasi at that time, I really wanted to study about French aromatherapy or the ingestion of oils. Have you ever tried ingesting oils since starting using aromatherapy or oils?
If I've ever ingested?
Yes.
That's what you're asking.
Yes.
Actually, no, but
good.
I haven't. And then the other day, I think I went to another school which was offering level 3, and part of her curriculum, if you take the course with them, is they will teach you how to develop capsules, suppositories, And I was thinking like, wow, that's interesting. But on the other hand, if I take this course, do I really plan to apply that in my setting? Because, I mean, it's nice to know and it's nice to be able
But
to
it's
educate
expensive.
people, but yeah, it's expensive. And what, I mean, I would have to buy, if I buy the ingredients to make that product for class, who will test it for me, you know? So, and I think a lot of the growth for, practicing aromatherapist is when you work with a client to say that, and to really evaluate if it's working for their specific condition. So I was I'm still on the fence of like going to like because Aromahead does not teach ingestion or making suppositories or those kinds of
My
products.
school does. My school is
Yeah,
like
so-
one of the trailblazer in using suppositories. Which school are you referring to?
Who was this lady who used to, I think, head NAHA before. She has a school that's certified for level 3.
Yeah, which
So,
school siya?
I forgot, but I'm going to, because I'm still shopping around for schools, and I don't want to make the mistake and quote a different school. So I'm looking at the curriculum of level 3 providers, and looking at their lesson plans. And,
Is it Jade Shoots, yung kulot-kulot yung hair?
Yeah,
That's my
she's the one.
teacher.
Yeah,
Tapos,
she's the one.
when she speaks, di ba parang sobrang slow, na parang nakakaantok?
I haven't enrolled in a free class under her.
Yes.
But I think she's the one.
Yeah.
So,
She's like the pioneer, the queen of suppositories.
Yeah.
And that's my level 2. That's my French aromatherapy class, basically.
I see. So did you find it like, how did you, if you made 5 capsules or something for your class, how did you test it?
I haven't done suppositories because I don't like the idea of using it. But I understand that suppositories is what they use though for children. I mean, I remember when I was young, I was very sickly. I like go to doctor trips almost every single day. I get injections almost every single day. And I remember when I was young, maybe 3 to 4 years old, I get suppositories when I was young. So, yun, I think the main application of that is for kids, I think.
Okay.
But I've tried making capsules. I haven't tried taking capsules though. I've tried ingestion once, fairly recently, just this lockdown lang. And yun lang, but I've never really done it again because before you try to do ingestion kasi, it has to be very specific. From the time you start, para siyang medicine. So from the time you start, how many times a day, how many days you should take it lang, when would you stop, ano lang yung oil, how many drops, very specific. It's not like the way the masses, quote and unquote, or most people, quote and unquote, would do it na parang just a drop of lemon in your water every day. It's not like that. It's not like 1 drop of peppermint in your coffee kasi gusto mo ng peppermint mocha. It's not as casual as that. It's supposed to be treated as a very strict modality of therapy, of medicine, to be honest. Yun.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So I think that's one of the considerations. Siguro, maybe if that is the situation, that is the situation now dito sa Philippines, then maybe it would be more practical to, take a similar course, maybe a little bit in a few years when I guess there's more, understanding that, you have to be very strict on treat it like medicine and not just, like vitamins or juice that you can, ingest and not think about the consequences. So because even in my case studies, I really learned dun sa case studies process, which was, part of the certification. Because I was thinking before, like, how could a teacher whom you have never met actually evaluate what you're doing? Because, I think you maybe, sometimes you don't put as much like 100% effort in, each exercise. And then I realized that my teacher is actually reading my report line by line and saying that, you should not have done it this way because, there are things that you should consider, or like, and working with the clients enabled me to get, very real world experience of how people incorporate essential oils in their lifestyle. Like one big mistake that I made was, one of my clients asked me if I could replicate a scent that she liked, which was I think a sandalwood lotion, and I said, why not? And I didn't look at I didn't ask her to send me the container because I said I had sandalwood in my collection. Why not experiment on it right now? I was so excited. I made 3 different blends of sandalwood, and then when she sent me the photo, I saw that it came from a hotel. It was just a hotel giveaway. And then, of course, it was not real sandalwood, and it had a combination of chemicals. And to her, because it was written sandalwood, it smelled sandalwood to her. But of course, having never smelled the real thing,
Correct.
and having mixed it with so many different chemicals, it was just fragrance oil. And like managing clients' expectations and educating them. So I ended up using an expensive bottle of sandalwood, and then when she got it, it's like,
It's different.
I prefer the one which did not have sandalwood.
Oh.
So what did you said you wanted sandalwood? So after that, I said, like, okay, let's think about this before we use any expensive oil, or we have to tell clients ahead of time that using essential oils and beauty products is different from using products which has synthetic or other kinds of fragrances, to level off, and so that they know what to expect. So sometimes the expectations are different. So managing that is, I think, very important. And the other one is, I think, that the lifestyle. So you give people instructions like, okay, you have dry feet. I recommend that you use this, for example, 3 times a day. And then I didn't realize that working mothers are so busy, they don't actually have the luxury of time to put things on their skin 3 times a day. So after that, so she wasn't able to follow the recommendation that I gave. So I realized that when working with clients, you really must consider the lifestyle and anything that is probably going to affect the way they use your product. And this customization level takes a lot of time. But it's rewarding when people appreciate it. It's like, oh my God, tumama rin, alam mo yun. So that part makes me feel happy.
I'm also curious, Lou, what are other oils, or what are the oil brands that you've ever tried since delving into essential oils?
I started with Nawi, PH, before I went to school. Nawi, PH, and Ilog Maria, I also tried that. And then when I started school, my packet came from Aromatics International, and then I tried Florihana, from Healthy Options or Acacia, and then Casa de Lorenzo products, and then this Australian brand, I forgot what it was. So I got, I think, several types of eucalyptus from them.
Wow.
So my concerns about buying essential oil, the practical part is, I hope there would be more essential oil companies that can recycle the bottles.
Yeah.
Because that's why I go. So I like buying with Casa de Lorenzo because some of the oils, because I can get a discount from reusing the bottles, and it's a way to be more earth friendly by recycling some things that can be recycled. So it's just taking a lot of space sometimes in my room. So I need to manage that, be smarter in that aspect of buying.
Correct. So, with your set of essential oils, could you share with us your favorites? Maybe your top 3 favorite oils and why?
My favorite right now is a cypress.
Wow.
Because it's cypress, because I realized that the cypress and Siberian fir. Cypress is locally available, so that makes it easier for me. And I like Siberian fir because it has the lemony and the conifer to it. But I made this recipe once. So I saw this recipe once when you use it with baking soda for cleaning, and it was the most joyful cleaning experience I had because I don't like scrubbing, like the bathroom for a long time and my cabinets. But when you mix the conifers with the baking soda, it's like, oh, I can do this longer because, it doesn't have the harmful sting in your nose. Correct. When you use the synthetic chemicals.
Correct.
So,
and it smells fresh.
Yeah, that's true. And I found that in a small room, when you like diffuse, the scent is longer because it's not a up note, and then the effect on the I think with the piney scent and the conifers just opens your lungs and makes you feel like I'm not inside a concrete building anymore, and
correct.
I guess transporting yourself to a different place is very important these days, even if it's just in your imagination.
That's right. Okay, so that's just one oil, cypress. What are your other favorites?
Yeah, the second is I like the Siberian fir, and then it's a little bit, I think, hard. It's not locally available, so I have to find another supplier that can deliver it in a not as expensive way. And then
go check out G Blends. Sponsor sila ng sa amin to. Ang daming plant therapy oils. Have you ever tried plant therapy?
Actually, plant therapy, nabigay din pala sa akin before. Yeah, somebody gave me a bottle of the Terra Rosemary before. It was also good. And plant therapy, yeah, I saw that they provide GCMS reports, which I said I'm so happy because I feel like I can trust the brand and it's not that expensive. And there are several. I saw that online there are several suppliers. So for me, I'm very interested to get from plant therapy as well. The last is I used to hate rose. Rose is so expensive. I don't like the smell of dead roses, and it's just only available in small bottles. But the thing is I made a blend to help a client with insomnia, and of all the things I made for him, the one with the rose was what he liked the best, and I was like, why, And I think people who are into rose essential oil, it's like you love it or you hate it kind of thing because the aroma is very distinct. But it has when I spent time with the oil and just trying to take whiff of it, not mixing it with anything, and I felt like so. You get to develop, I guess, a relationship with the oil, and you get to remember, oh, this is what I did not see or discover about this oil before. And I guess that's what I've been doing the past few months. When I diffuse, I don't mix it. So I learn to appreciate the quality of a single oil, because before I liked blending so many and I couldn't figure out what was inside. And I guess during this lockdown, I said okay, let's diffuse just cypress or just eucalyptus or just lavender, and it enabled me to see how I react to it. So it's a self-discovery process as well.
Wow, that's really amazing. Ako naman, I don't really like rose as well. I've never liked it. Maybe someday, because sometimes our tastes would like develop, di ba? Nag-iiba siya, di ba?
Yes. Yung rose, I used it for a client and then I tried, sabi ko, sige, subukan na natin, di ba? So, sabi ko, mahal, parang gagabitin ko ba to, ganyan. So, I used it with, I think, coconut oil, so just the rose and coconut oil. And then sabi ko, so if I don't like it, it's just a small bottle. And if I like it, then it's just enough. So, yeah, I agree with you that, our tastes evolve. And sometimes, before I was into a peppermint overdrive, and then peppermint eucalyptus. And then I said, I will challenge myself in creating blends outside these two, so I can also grow. And I've learned a lot from making, mistakes, I guess, or like I've learned that some oils are not, I've made the mistake of putting too much lemongrass in the diffuser, and since I was in a small room, it really irritated my nose. I had to oh my God, I said, I'm not gonna do this again, I think my skin has become sensitive as well because as I've aged. So I need to consider that when I make blends, and especially the conditions inside my room, needs to be well ventilated, and the practical thing for me is I should not if I have a diffuser in my room, I have a candle diffuser, and I have one in my bathroom, and it is not a good idea to put all lemongrass because it's just too much for my system. So it hurt my nose, the sensitive part of your nose. So I said electric fan,
air it out.
There's such a thing as too much.
Correct.
And when you learn the science behind essential oils, why did I make that mistake? I knew that putting too much of this can be an irritant because it's the way that the composition is not designed for that kind of intense dilution. And I've had friends who are moms. One of my friends called me, it was an emergency because she loved essential oil. She put oregano in her son, and of course the son was screaming in pain.
Yes,
because
it's a hot oil.
Oregano. Yeah, it's I said, why did you put oregano? So after that, the son, she already washed it off, and immediately, because the son already expressed that he didn't like it was not good on his skin. So if the child, I think, is in a position to verbally say na masakit or something, then that's good. Pero kung hindi niya masabi or hindi nag-express kagad yung reaction sa body, then it becomes more of a concern. The mother should really be careful on what they put because it can cause a lot of danger. So I was happy to be able to share helpful advice at that time. And the son said, "Mommy, don't put anything on me anymore." Kasi medyo kinabahan na yung bata. So I think it was a learning experience then when your friends know or people in your network know that you have studied this, they feel that they can, they have the confidence to ask you specific concerns. And as a practitioner, I also feel that it was my responsibility to really keep myself up to date and ask more questions first before dispensing any advice. And asking other looking for the evidence or checking out the science before just dishing out anything that I just saw in the internet.
Oo nga. So Lou, is there any other practical applications of your certification that you can share with us? Like, for example, a person who's into essential oils, what are your tips that would make her decide na dapat she would take it more seriously than she takes the certification then? Are there any practical applications that you've appreciated since finishing your course?
I think there are two things. Number one, hindi naman siguro certification is something na would be interesting for a certain group of people kasi and may mga small parang short term courses that will not lead to a certification but might be more practical or useful then for the needs of users. Halimbawa, making body butters or just learning the safety. So you would not really get a certification at the end of, you will not become a certified aromatherapist after, but at least you were able to expose yourself to speakers who really know their stuff and are giving you sound advice. So hindi naman kailangan gumastos lahat ng 200,000, di ba? Parang pwede ka rin namang matuto at maging through those short-term courses. Pero for those who are interested in aromatherapy certification, sa akin, practical siya kasi I'm switching to something, to parang I see a future in wellness, number one. I know that the wellness industry is growing and there's a space for us aromatherapists to be in that, group who will lead people into a state of, being able to connect with the environment, being able to connect with themselves through the practice of aromatherapy. So, yung isa parang may future tayo dito. And number two, if you're into business, parang it's a good thing. Ang nakita kong analogy before na pinadala sa amin nila when they were teaching us is, would you want to go scuba diving with an instructor that does not have a certificate? Siyempre, hindi, di ba? So yung katawan mo, ihahabilin mo ba siya sa isang tao na hindi naman certified to be putting those volatile organic components sa katawan mo if you do not trust them. So it gives a certain level of confidence and assurance that they are not there to sell you oils but to think of your well-being. I think that's important na number two, in the certification is also important when you are making products for yourself and for other people, and your number one concern is safety, di ba? Because you're dealing with different types of chemicals, and you want to make sure that they are, effective and that they are able to, deliver the results in a safe way. Kasi, as I said, we don't want to go to the emergency room because of oils. We want them to parang strengthen us, make us feel better. And I want people to feel that na they can do this, and they have the means and parang hindi siya unreachable goal. It's an enjoyable experience that you can share with others. Kasi yung mga schools, lifetime, yung pag nag-enroll ka, lifetime yung access mo dun eh. Mm-hmm. So, forever mo siyang pwedeng gawing reference material. And so it's and there are schools which offer like payment options. And I think some schools pwedeng hindi mo kaagad bilhin yung mga materials as long as you pass the the theoretical part and then the case studies and the research. Kasi yung iba malaki yung investment. Kasi ako, I'm not sure what you did. Sa school mo ba, you had a package for or was it you used your own materials?
I bought it all.
Yung set?
Yeah.
Yeah, ako din eh. Kasi parang wala naman akong gamit. So yung front yung front na investment mo, ang laki talaga, di ba?
Yeah, and during my
Pero,
time, wala pa kaming mga payment options. You just pay all in one go, 2 courses in one go, kit in one go.
oo, di ba? At ang laki. Ngayon, I think people are, some companies are having like a payment plan. Kahit sa Tisiran Institute, meron din silang payment plan, parang ganyan. So, I don't regret paying for my course. Parang feeling ko na parang it was the pinakamalaking unboxing experience of my life kasi nung dumating yung gamit, parang ang dami-dami. And then when I saw it, parang naisip ko, oh my God, totoo na to. Kailangan matuto ko dito.
And it's so inspiring to see all those things in front of you. Diba? Na parang, oh my God, I'm so excited to try it out and learn.
Yeah, tapos parang kaya mo pala gawin. Kasi before, halimbawa pupunta ako sa mga tindahan, tapos halimbawa nagbebenta sila ng bath salt. Yung bath salt siguro na 1,000 pesos siya or more. Kasi hindi ko maintindihan, ba't siya 1,000 pesos, di ba? Tapos titingnan ko yung ingredients, may 10 essential oil doon. Di ba, ba't kailangan ba ng 10 essential oil pag maliligo ako ng bath salt, di ba? So, mapapaisip ka talaga dun sa mga choices mo.
Correct.
Sa pagbili ng products. Tapos nakukuha mo ba yung value ng pera mo dun sa binabayad mo sa mga companies? Sino ba yung dapat mong pagkatiwalaan? Parang, at in the same way, parang you'll also be able to test ano ba yung limits ng kakayanan mo. Kasi kung hindi ka naman expert, baka mas mabuting bumili ka muna sa iba, di ba? Or mag-aral ka muna bago ka gumawa. Yun. Natuto rin ako dun sa mga, yung habang ginagawa ko yung mga products, yung parang yung hindi nabuo yung butter, yung ganon, kasi wala na akong beeswax eh. Tapos sabi ko, hindi, okay pa yan. Alam mo yun yung magiging DIY na naman, na parang, feeling mo okay lang yan siguro. So pagbalik ko, syempre hindi siya nag-solidify, mukha siyang mantika na lumulutang-lutang sa mga sebo or something ganyan. So sabi ko, okay, may chemistry talagang involved dito. We cannot escape this. So, I realized na there's a reason why people are studying the science. So this is not like other things that you mix and match and you can expect that it's going to be good. A lot of research and development has to go to good products, and I have higher respect for people and companies who have chosen to really study what they give and what they sell, and to have integrity and to have principles that they live by, lalo na because we're using plant products and sustainability. Kasi parang pagbili ka lang ng bili, di ba? Okay lang, available, kaya ko naman i-afford yan. Pero pag nakita mo yung story behind each oil na parang hindi naman natin ito kailangan bilhin lahat ngayon, di ba? So, may mga bagay na you learn to understand more things as you go along and have greater respect for nature also.
That's right. And as a certified aromatherapist now, you are more critical of the things that you buy. You tend to check the label. Yun nga, yung sinabi mo kanina, you tend to decipher na, kailangan ko ba tong 10 essential oils na ito? Diba? Na parang it makes us more mindful and aware of the things that we put on our body.
That's true. And I think it's a good thing to be a discerning consumer, and to really examine, di ba yung I remember yung sa'yo, to be intentional about it, di ba? That aromatherapy should be intentional. And yun din naman sa pag-fragrance making, yun din yung unang tanong what is your intention about this blend? What do you want it to be, di ba? So it's an important consideration that drives everything. Now, what is the purpose, before dun sa price, before dun sa ingredients, diba? What is it for? So it actually forces you to clarify your thoughts and actually make better decisions because you have time to evaluate what is it for. And I think moving forward, there's also a big space for aromatherapy to help in mental health, and I think that's one of the things that would be an exciting avenue for aromatherapists to help out especially because traditional, medicines cannot do everything. And there is a space for yung mga alternative and complementary medicines. And we are part of that space, and we should, I think, enjoy it and learn from each other because may space naman para sa lahat. So,
Yun, tama. And thank you so much for mentioning intentional aromatherapy. So, before lang we end this session, I just want to invite everyone to also please join us this December 11 through 13. We will be having our online essential oil summit called Intentional Aromatherapy. If you haven't signed up, please do. We have started giving away stuff, and we are still giving away a lot of oily raffle that you can enjoy. So, Lou, before we end this session, could you please share with us or invite our listeners to your personal Instagram or social media where they can follow you, they can maybe get in touch with you if they want to have, like if they want to consult or ask you questions about essential oils. Because certified aromatherapist ka na, you should own it. You know more than a lot of them.
Yeah, I read your post about that, and it was inspiring also for me kasi to be invited by those who have already been around. So I really thank you for the invitation, and thank you for the inspiration that you're giving to all of us who are new in this thing. So I'm still working on working on my website, but I'm happy to meet new people through my Instagram, Lourdes Margarita_C, and I hope to connect with everybody. I'm excited to learn from your experience and share your adventures with me in aromatherapy.
All right. So thank you so much, Lou. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you guys have any other questions about essential oils, feel free to get in touch with Lou. Lou, ano ba yung parang forte mo, or which aspect of aromatherapy would you like to focus on? Like if you're gonna be taking further studies, ano ba yung arena ng aromatherapy yung parang gusto mo? Like ako, I'm really invested into animal aromatherapy and botanical formulations, as in cosmetic formulations using natural ingredients. How about you?
Right now, I have two interests. Una yung aromatherapy for mental health kasi yung research ko was anxiety among older people and how to use aromatherapy for that. And then next is yung para for the elderly, because I think a lot of, it's for my mom, our parents, our grandparents. I think, I want to develop something, caring formulations for them. Because they've cared for us so much, and I think they would benefit from, having that very special sanctuary that you can find when you work with essential oils. So, so hopefully, I just applied to be, I just got my NAHA membership approval. So I'm excited to, further expand my knowledge on how I can help use aromatherapy for mental health and serve the elderly.
Wow, you didn't mention that you registered for NAHA. What made you want to register with NAHA?
I thought that it was time for me to learn from other practitioners. Kasi if I stayed with Aromahead, then I wanted to expand, especially working with those who are doing like heavy research, and then looking at journal articles and looking at clinical trials, finding out how people are writing about this field. Kasi totoo naman, di ba, some think that aromatherapy is like fad lang or quack, di ba? Lalo na yung mga hindi naman familiar dun. So, we really have a responsibility to say na hindi, meron na itong na itutulong, and if we know, dapat isulat natin and then share it widely with other practitioners, learn from them. So, first time ko pa lang, so I will see if the membership fee is worth it, and I will let you know.
Yeah, update me because, I've been in this space for 2+ years, but truth be told, and I think I've mentioned it in one of my previous episodes, and when you meet me in person, I'd still say the same thing. I don't really see the use of it. I mean, for now, for me. So, it's good that you are... it's good that you are taking it. I've talked to other certified aromatherapists. It's always it's always a toss between yes and no. There's no talaga majority. So wala lang, interesting lang that you did. Please do let me know how was it. I hope you enjoy your membership and make the most out of it. And
I think that's the challenge talaga para masusulit mo ba yung ginayat mo. So,
all right. So thank you so much again, Lou. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope to see you around. I hope to see you in person soon, or perhaps work with you in the future soon.
Salamat. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. So I hope you've enjoyed today's episode here on my podcast. To receive updates or new episode alerts, don't forget to follow us here on Spotify. Or to get more updates from me, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at HappyOilerPH. And I'll see you on my next Live Well with Aromatherapist, Jerby Go.